Good morning. Oh, that picture was looking so good until it all went all fuzzy there, but I don't think it's fuzzy. I hope it's not fuzzy. Yeah, so good morning or good afternoon or evening or wherever you are, because I can see that Kathy's with us and she says it's really hot and humid in Australia. It's a beautiful day here today. From what I can see, most of you are agreeing with such a thing, and it's looking really lovely. As we said, daffodils coming out and all sorts, which makes you think you might want to do a bit of a spring clean, maybe. So I am doing a little bit of a spring clean because I've got some exciting news that I can't completely impart with you, but suffice to say, I've got a new company that I'm going to be working with. Setting it up at the moment, and it's going to be a beautiful addition to what we already have, which is lovely. But so at the moment, what I wanted to do was to give you some really good bargains. So there are some stamps that are available at half price or less, more or less anyway, apart from some. But there are some gorgeous little ones, but it is a clearance. So don't think that you can go over there and get absolutely loads, because literally there are just some of them are just one of them just left, which I just need to clear away. So just showing you a couple of things. Gorgeous script, which looks lovely in the background of things. The huge happy birthday. It's actually called Huge Happy Birthday, which is really nice. And there's quite a few sentiments and bits and pieces over there as well. So do go and have a look. But I am going to be showing you how to do some colouring. Now, I thought we would go with these gorgeous pink ink ones. So these came out a little while ago, and they're for the frame series. So they did a selection of framing. I don't know if you can see that there, which was sort of like the old embroidery hoop. And that's the kind of idea that they're doing it with. But I felt it would go really nicely with our layered dies. So that's what I'm going to do. I do have a few of these. Some of them are limited, but they're on the website as well. But the one I'm going to be working with is this little one, which is called Sweet Rose. So Sweet Rose is the one I'm going to be working with and showing you how we achieve white flowers on white paper, white card. So it's a little bit different. And it'll give me a chance to have a natter with you whilst we're going on ahead. And also, hopefully, you can have a natter with me, because you're always talking to one another. I'm here, you know. So hopefully I'll be able to watch what you're doing as well. So Sweet Rose. So Sweet Rose consists of 9 separate stamps. So you've got 2 big sort of corner pieces here. You've got a gorgeous little mouse, this little one in the middle. You've got some foliage, extra foliage, and take time to smell the flowers is the sentiment there. So a nice selection of bits and pieces. Okay, so the one I'm going to choose, by the way, I always keep my stamps in these pockets, because I just find that they're the easiest way to do. But somehow when you've got the plastic packet that they come in, you know what I mean? The sort of, I'll show you in a minute, this type of plastic packet. I don't know about you, but it rips the minute I open it all up. So I like to keep mine in my Polly Pockets. So let's have a look. Now, bring in my stamping platform. And I've already taken my 6-inch, get it right in a second, 6-inch layering circle. So I've cut out the plain one at the moment, and I've put in the 6-inch dotted one inside. I've also put in the 5-inch dotted one inside. And as I did that, I felt that I've got a bit of sticky tape on it. So I just want to clear that off. That's better. Don't want to stamp onto sticky, do we? Still can feel it there. Thank you. Right. You know why I can still feel it there? Because I've even got a bit of tape. Oh, for goodness sake. Don't want tape on it. That wouldn't have boded well. Boded? Is that a word? Boded? But now it's sticky. Let's sort you out. So I've taken a piece of super smooth card because I want to colour with alcohol markers today. So super smooth white card is what I'm using, not textured or anything like that. Now hold it down, hopefully there. And then I'm going to place my lovely stamp on here. Hold on, just going to line it all up. So I'm actually covering in places that dotted line of the 5-inch circle, but I think it will give just a nice little background there. So I haven't tried it, so let's hope that I'm right, eh? So let's give that a go. Whoops. So I'm going to use Memento, as I said, and it's in black. And we're just going to ink that up. I will bring the camera in quite low in a second so that you can see exactly what it is that I'm trying to achieve. I do note the word trying, because that's what we're attempting. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, just love that. Really, really love that. Do you know what? I think I'm going to put the sentiment in there whilst I'm there. What do you reckon? Let's take this one out. Talking of doing things and practicing and things like that, yesterday we had, lots of us had a lovely workshop, online workshop with John Lockwood, and I can see that lots of people are saying that they had a really good time, which was great. And it was a really great afternoon. And one of the things, well, just one of the things that I learnt was how to tie a bow. How exciting is that? Or sad, whichever way one likes to look at it. Because we were using the bows on our beautiful card decorations yesterday. So whilst I was listening, I promise, folks, I was listening. Oh, look at that. You can't even see it, can you? Look at that. Take time to smell the flowers. Yeah. And so I have perfected, I reckon, this bow folding. So I was thinking that I might do a little video of how I like to think that one could to achieve good bows, because I think it's one of those things that we tend to sort of mess up a bit, don't you? Well, I know I do anyway. So I was thinking that we might do that. Now, I'm going to bring the camera right down so that we can hopefully see what we're talking about. Okay, so my hands are going to look enormous now. But this is our stamp. And as I said, we did it with the Memento because I want to colour it in with alcohol markers. Now, if we were doing watercolours, we would be doing it on a different paper, because this has got a, like, as it says, super smooth. So it's a really shiny one, so that it would fall off, really, basically. It would slide off. So you need something with a bit of bite if you're doing watercolour. And you also need a different kind of ink. You need then a VersaFine ink or something like that. Otherwise, it will blend in and the ink will run. I'm just having a look now. Yeah, we need to make some bows, don't we? We do. We won't do it today, but maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it on Wednesday or something. Anyway, so that's the ink that we need. Now the colours that we need, because I want to make these flowers white. The colours that we need are therefore grey. Now you may recall we did something like this once before, but it's unusual to do white on white. So I'm going to use a couple of greys, which are, whoops, can you see that? They're Graphmaster. They're CG1, and I've got a CG3, so that's cool grey 1 and 3. And then I'm also, better put it on the right bit, and I've also got a warm grey number 5, and I'm taking, now this one is not a Graphmaster, This is Couture Creations, and this is a green one, and it's called White Lotus Leaf. Now, I don't know about you, but if you're doing any colouring, you tend to find that you've got one green that you use all the time for leaves, and that is this one for me. So let us first of all take this one, CG1, and I want to start colouring the flowers. And I'm going to use the bullet end, I think they call it, don't they? Yeah, bullet end. And when you look at the flowers that are on here, very kindly, they've already given you some ideas of where you want to start. Let me just bring this in even closer. Oh gosh, there we are. So you can see maybe that it's got what they call pointillism, I think, and it's like little marks here which denote. It's the same letters, they're just run the wrong way. Denote where you've got some shading. So hence, that's where we're going to put this. Okay, so I'm just going to colour in along those lines where it suggests that there's a bit of shading. So you might think that you want to add a bit more, but if you're not very familiar with it, I would suggest that you don't go too mad. Just follow wherever there is a line that kind of shouldn't be. That makes sense? So I'm just going to go over all these areas that have got a mark on. So where are we? A few more down here. Now, because we are colouring it white, now if we were colouring on craft card or a dark coloured card, it would be a different matter. We'd have to put white, but we've already got white because we've painted it onto, stamped it onto white card. So what we're trying to do is just encourage our eye to look as if this is white from the beginning. It's all white. All white? All right. Now, I've also got some buds here. So again, I'm just going to go in where there is a little bit of shading. So just give an idea of the fact that that's going to be coming out there. Sorry, my hand's getting in the way now, isn't it? Yeah. So I like the look of that. Now, I might go over that again in a minute, but in the meantime, I'm going to do a little bit of colouring of the leaves. So I'm taking my green, which, as I said, in this case is called White Lotus Leaf, but that's just my choice. And I'm just going to colour, well, not solidly. I know that kind of looks solidly, but I'm just going to not go to one edge. It doesn't matter which edge it is. But I'm going to have to try and do it fairly quickly, aren't I? So that, and I'm just putting the colour down. I'm not doing anything special there at the moment. So I'm just doing it in little circles, and I'm missing kind of like one corner of it. Can you see what I mean? So just going to go around all of them, and then on some of them, like this one, I'll miss the very bit at the tip of it. Okay. Oh, Sheila, are you off? Have a lovely day, whatever you're doing. Yeah, the nails look all right. They need doing again, though. Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, they need doing. I don't know about anyone else, but my nails grow like Billio, whoever Billio is. Yeah. So whilst I'm colouring this, before I do the next stage, or actually I should do the next stage. Let's do the next stage first, and then I'll start watering on again. So I've coloured those almost in green, but I'm going to take my WG5. So it's a warm grey, not that end, a warm grey, but you could have a very, very pale brown as well. And I'm just going to, in some places, just pop a little bit of this darker grey in. So you can see that, it's just giving it a little bit of shade. Then I'm going to take my green again, And I'm just going to go over it and blend it in. So because we're working on super smooth card, it will blend, so the alcohol inks blend together, and it then just gives you, hopefully you can see that, a little bit of shading. Can you see that? Where you might say, oh, well, okay, I'll go in with a darker green, which you could, but this will give you just a little bit more of a shading, and I think that gives quite a nice look. So I'm using the shading sort of more towards the bottom of the leaves because I feel that that's where it would be in real life. And then I'm taking my green again and I'm just going right over the top, but in sort of circular movements to just blend that all in. If you do this on watercolor paper, it will not work. If you do this on a cheap, well, this is a relatively cheap, but if you do it on cheap, ordinary card, shall we say, it won't work. If you need this super smooth card in order to do this sort of blending technique, you can colour ordinarily without any problem at all. But if you're wanting to do more of a blending technique, I'm just turning it around so that we can do these bits, then you do need to have super smooth card. Okay. So let's just get that. So yeah, we had a brilliant workshop yesterday with John himself and myself, online, done over Zoom, which I think many of you might be familiar with. And I can see that there's a lot of people here today that were with me yesterday, or with us, I should say, yesterday, which is great. We had a great time and already looking forward to the next one, which, pop in your diary, is the 22nd of April. 22nd of April. Okay. Now, some of these I won't do that darker colour, because if you were going to do a real life, you wouldn't have all of the what do you call them? The new leaves wouldn't be having a little bit of a mark on them. So the smaller leaves, I'm not going to worry too much. And just so it's just going over that same dark colour, but blending it in little circular movements. Okay. Like that. Just bear with me 1 second, sorry. Sorry, I'm back. So we're just going to go over what I would call the newer leaves again. And I think that once you find a green pen, stick with it. And you can change the sort of shading of that pen by adding some of the other colours. That's how I like to do it. Sorry if I'm getting my hand in the way all the time. Try not to. Ooh, try not to, and then failing miserably. So again, some of the bigger, the smaller, newer leaves, not going to colour them in, not going to put my dash of brown in there, but some of these I am. So just down the bottom, just little strokes, I think you would say. I'm just putting in, and then I'm going to take my green again and I'm going to go over the top. And don't forget that alcohol ink dries into the card, so you will find that the colours will lighten a little. I'm just going to go over these with a darker green at the bottom as opposed to the brown. And if I turn it over, you'll see that all those marks are coming through, and that's okay. So do not be alarmed that that's what's happening. That is okay. We're all right with that. Okay. So then going to, can you see that this has got lots of little, I don't know what you call them really, kind of like little stamen type things. I'm going to grab I'm just going to see if this is the colour I want, because I'm not sure. Hold on a second, let's find a piece of the same card as a scrap. It's a bit pink. Oh, you can't even see it. A bit pink. A bit too much. So let's try this one. I think that's going to look better. So this colour is called Tender Purple. And I just wanted to, just where these little things are, I don't know what they are, whatever they are, just going to add a little dot. I'm not colouring them as such, just adding that little dot of pink. Don't want to add a massive colour, and it's just tiny little bits, but it just gives a hint of something. In fact, we've even got little dots, which I think that we'll go for that as well whilst we're there, just to give a little. There's such a lot of detail to here, but I want it to be as delicate as possible. Now that's actually a green leaf, so we better not do a green leaf, had we? Better just grab my green to do those little bits. So it's just got a few little dots, which I'm just dotting again with my pink. Well, purple it said, but it's more of a pink if you ask me. So let me just grab my green again. And then I'm just going to enhance my white flowers. So I'm just going to go over, so these are just little tendrils or something. Yeah. I'm just going to go over those bits. Now, for me, they're only because I know that that's what will happen. There are very, very thin lines here, which are stems to these flowers. And in all honesty, they should be green. However, that is such a thin line that if I then go and put this on here, I might risk spoiling it. So for me, I would rather leave them and just do the colouring of what I would call the bigger areas. And then your eye will not even be taken. They are so thin that you won't even, she says, notice that they have not been coloured. If you feel happier to colour them, by all means, you colour them. But I feel happier not to, because I've done it before in the past and I've wished I hadn't, because they then look just like a thick line and I don't like that. So I'm now going to go back to my grey. So I'm going back. I haven't actually used that dark one. So CG1, and I'm just going to go in. Now you can see, hopefully, that these have settled down a bit, dried in. And I just want to go over them again. So I'm just going over exactly where I was before. One or two places I've forgotten. And just, that's where those little marks were. And just colour those bits in again. Hi, Patricia. Nice to have you here. I find colouring very therapeutic myself. Can't say I'm particularly good at it, but I just do the very basics. And that's good enough for me. I mean, some people are amazing at colouring, aren't they? Which is brilliant. But as we said, practice makes perfect. Now, I feel that if we coloured these flowers in you know, a bright pink or something, you need to be far more skilled than if you're doing it in just little bits. So if you do have a flower stamp that you aren't very confident with, but that you feel that you would like to colour in some way or another, colour them white, but add the grey. And then the beautiful part of the stamp is still there, but all you've done is enhance it rather than colour it, and possibly just make it not so good. So I'm not going to do any more colouring than that. I think that that is enough, to be honest. I'll show you how I put it together as a card because, again, simplistic in as much as that is going to be the whole card, and it will be good because it is a completely flat one. Okay, I'm going to bring the camera out a little, otherwise you won't be even able to see the card. But that is, oh, we're down there. That's that. So what I've done simply is I've got myself a 7x7 card blank. A 7x7 card blank. And if you recall, I said that this was the 6-inch layering die with the 6-inch dotted die in between it and the 5-inch one. But I've cut out the scalloped one of the 6-inch so that that can sit just on there. Okay, like that, which I think looks rather lovely myself, I have to say. It's simple, but I think very effective. Now, let's just check which way around the card is. Top folding, so that's at the top. I'm going to put that straight on. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue around the outside. And then a little bit there. So let's just turn that around and pop that onto there. Whoops, I've got it there. Oh goodness. Oh, I put enough glue on there. Didn't want to press down very hard. Maybe I should have done. So let's press from hard from the other side. So just press that in. So the colour of the card I've got here is olive green, which I'm afraid to say is an old one that we can no longer get anymore, but I felt that it went in quite well. I still got the top, yeah, I still got the top at the top. Not happy with that. I thought I was being frugal, but there's being frugal and there's being a bit ridiculous, isn't there? Let's put more glue. Thank you. It partly, I think it's because I got that little, the little dots, and so it doesn't give you a completely flat surface. So let's try that a bit better. Got to have enough glue on it that it stays there. Now I can turn it over. That's looking better. There's being frugal and there's being a bit daft, isn't there? Yeah, do you know what? The green is the colour that they're having so much problems with. And I spoke to a different manufacturer than where I normally get everything from during last week. And why? Well, she didn't know either. But apparently green is one of the most difficult colours to make in green card, you know, in card form. How can that be? Why? What do they do to green card that makes it so that much more difficult? I've no idea myself. And the lady that I was speaking to didn't know either. There you go. Oh, got to make sure that I've got my... Oh, I was going to say bum, but I wouldn't say that. Not on here. So I might get YouTube policed. Right, okay. And then I've cut some of the delicate corners because I think that they would look nice. So I've not done loads of matting and layering. I have just literally made it as delicate as I possibly can, kept it in that format of delicate. So I'm literally going to pop these into the four corners. So my eye is now not going to be taken away from this beautiful. Well, I think that's stunning. It's going to just enhance it rather than. That's something that we were talking about with John yesterday, is how your eye, or how you choose something, means how your eye will see it and what you will be drawn to. If, for example, I made this into a larger card and put these corners in the top corners, it doesn't draw your eye to look into this middle bit because it's a bit too out. You see what I mean? It's different if you've done a bigger circle, of course. I'm trying to keep it all in proportion. So that is that. So don't forget, some of the stamps today are available, you know, more than just the odd one, but some of them are literally, there is just one. So they are at very special prices as well. So just make some clearance for new things that are coming our way very, very soon. I'm excited to tell you about them very soon as well. So, whoops. Just need a little bit on that outer star. Well, it is more of a star, isn't it? So let's just, and I've cut those out. I should have said, it's pretty obvious there now. I cut those out in the olive as well. So the same green that I did here at the background. So that, turn it around. So my flowers are, the green there is a very similar green to there. So in terms of colours, that's what I would go with, is the colours that I have chosen to put the green on. But hopefully, yeah, sage green is, the sage colour card that I do is very similar to this, and it would work well with that as well. But the sage green is just basically the only green that I've got. I've got some luster greens as well, and they're very pretty, but sometimes a luster green won't work with something like this, will it rather? So yeah, you're liking that. I like that too. I think that that is just the stamp. It's just three colours, well, four colours, because we did use that. I did use that little pink in the end to just enhance and give it a very delicate, I don't even know if you can see that, just about very, very delicate little pink there. And yeah, I mean, really, the little mouse should have gone in there, shouldn't he? But hey ho. So there is the card for today. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. I will endeavour to look into doing some bows for you. I might do that on Wednesday, but I'm definitely doing on Wednesday Fancy Fold. So if you are able to join me on Wednesday, which is the 23rd, I think. Let me just check. I think it's the 23rd. No, beg your pardon, it's the 22nd. So the 22nd of February at 6 o'clock in the evening, we'll be doing a Fancy Fold card. And I will have an extra little sneak peek, well, not sneak peek, but an extra little YouTube on Thursday evening at 6 o'clock as well. But I will remind you about that on Wednesday. I hope you have a really lovely day. If you're interested in coming to John's workshop but haven't heard anything about it and want to know, do drop me a line and I will let you know all the details for that. Oh, Terry, your birthday. Did you know, Terry, that it's also Thinking Day if you were a Girl Guide? Did you know that? Yeah, some of you did. Some of you do that, I'm sure. I don't know why. Well, I do know why it's called that, but I don't know why I keep thinking about it. Oh, and Hazel, hope everything goes well for you. I believe it's tomorrow, possibly, that you're going into hospital. So we send all your love to you as well. And also to my lovely stepdaughter, Jenny, who's in hospital at the moment. So if she is watching, oh, Anne knows that it's Thinking Day. There you are. All the good girl guides know such a thing, don't they? Yeah, my stepdaughter's in hospital, very poorly at the moment, but she's fighting, so we're doing all right. So yes, Carol, you can do such a thing. We do have people watch it and do it afterwards as well, so it's not a problem. It's not a problem. So thank you very much, everyone. I'll put this on the website so you can see it properly. Have a lovely, lovely day. And I will see you on Wednesday at 6 o'clock. Do hope you can make it then. Take care till then. Happy birthday to everyone. Bye.